Alright everybody, so I am getting things set up for my live. I figured we'd go back and we would finish up this macaw slash parrot, since apparently it's a parrot. I'm actually trying to get, see, I have this other cam here, my overhead cam, and I'm trying to get it up and working, so there we go. So that way, I've got another angle here so we can kind of see. It's giving us some troubles though, so I might leave it as is. But just in case, I'll try it at some point and see how it works out for us. But let's see. I'm gonna start seeing kind of how things are going. I'm gonna shoot this out to some friends. Let's see how they're doing. Get him on there. Hello. Ashley, Kate. And I'm just going to kind of run down my way. Now, I've got some friends that I haven't seen in a while. So I was kind of hoping that they would show up at some point. Alright, I'm going to send those to see. And then we'll start going from there. Okay, so kind of second day in on this parrot. And I think the last time we ended it was like right over here on this. So it's like I kind of wanted to get more of this done. Now, I did move my big pieces over here. And yeah, I'm not big on Mario Kart, but I did put this together the other day. And it was, oh man, it was like a little polybag set of Toad with it's from, you know, the Mario Racer thing. But this wheel I was wanting to make a motorcycle out of, and I've got these cool, like, computer printed plate things. So honestly, I might actually pick up another one of these after I'm done reviewing this and just rip it apart and use it for stuff, because I don't necessarily need it. But then also picked up this really cool, it was a brick loot, was it brick loot gumball machine? So I've got some cool stuff that just came in. Hey Lobojo, what's happening? Edwin, how are you? Okay, so I figured we'll jump on, we'll get some more done, because I want to finish up this parrot, I guess. Hey, Asia boy, I want to get it done and then figure out how this is and probably review it. Alright, and then after that I can figure out how I'm going to rip it apart and make it into things like this for my little city, which I am so ready to start building. Okay, so put that on here. We've got 2 of these little corner pieces. So how is everybody today? Everybody doing good? Diecast, how are you? Surprisingly, I had a pretty good day. It was loud. Like, it's my Tuesday classes are kind of loud, but they did pretty good. I stood my ground. And we did get some learning done. Not every class was successful, but we did pretty okay. Alright. Looks like these are going down like this. And hey Robbie, how are you? So I am building, let me find the box. Here we go. So the box says it's a macaw, but it's the Steam Da Vinci. This is actually, I think it's like a parrot. It's weird because it's like a macaw, but it's also like a parrot. Macaws are much bigger birds. But this is like a steampunk, like, robotic version of it. It says it has a signal sensor, a power pack, flying wings, and a balanced tail. It's got retro classic base that says parrot on it. And then special roller spray process, rich in details. And I'll show you kind of what we got. It's got kind of a play feature that when you turn this, it's got these little pistons that move. It's not the best. I feel like could have been a better way of doing it. But there are some like really cool parts. Like you got that parrot, you've got some printing over here. You've got the number 5, I guess, on there, or 2, 5, and then it has this base that's got parrot on it. So if I decide not to keep it as is and I rip it apart, I'll end up using this base. I'll use this as like a sign down in the bay, and then I'll probably buy like a bag of like macaws or parrots from Lego and place them all over the place. Just kind of set them up like all over the bay. Right now I have a lot of seagulls, but that's it. But I'd have to do some research, because I'm not even sure like macaws make it all the way over here in the Texas area. I know we got a bunch of gulls, egrets, things like that, but I don't know if we have any macaws in Texas, I should say. And my bay is actually going to be in Texas. It's part of the Gulf. I'm kind of fashioning it after oh my goodness, what's the name of that place? Rockport in over close to Corpus Christi. I loved that place. I mean, I'm a big fan of Surfside, and usually every year my family, we would go to Surfside to go and visit over there. That's over off of Galveston. Galveston, I think it's Galveston, Crystal Beach, something else, and then it's like Surfside. And we usually go every year, and this last year we decided to go to Rockport, because we want to go to Corpus Christi, because that's where my dad's family comes from. And we went to Rockport, and I mean, I absolutely loved it. And both my kid and my wife and I were like, we need to plan on going back. That's going to be like, I think that's going to start being our place. We loved it. Nothing wrong with Rockport. I love Rockport. Or not Rockport, Surfside. Because I know low budget, because you're in Houston, I believe. So Surfside, that's more or less in your backyard. Because that's on the back end over there by Galveston, south of Houston, or southeast, I should say. I think we'll just balance between the two. But yeah, I really loved Rockport. That was a lot of fun. And we were close to their downtown. So they got this really cool, like, small, like, strip downtown that's like, it's got a museum and all these shops and everything. Surfside, maybe an hour. Yeah, Surfside. Yeah. Yeah, they're in Houston. It's only like an hour drive. For me, because we're way up here in Dallas area. For me, I think we spent, it's like it's like right at 5 hours for us. It's quite a distance. But like I said, we used to go every year. We'd stay in the absolute same Airbnb. Anytime we go, that's the one that we want to stay at. The people started charging a little bit more for it recently, so it's like we were kind of like, do we still want to do it or not? And so we're kind of deciding. But like I said, Rockport, I was very shocked by just how cool of a community is. And the first night that we went, let me find this. Okay, so the first night we went, it was dark by the time we got there, and so we're like, hey, we want to go to the beach. We got to go to the beach. You know, it's kind of our thing. Get there, go to the beach, check it out. And so we go down into this kind of like, I believe it's called an alcove, where it's like, it's got a jetty, and it's got rocks, and it's kind of enclosed, right? So the water is a little bit warmer. We go over there, we're checking it out, and someone's like, ow, 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 ow. I'm like, what's going on? And it's like, I got stung by a jellyfish. I'm like, oh, man. So we're looking around, and I mean, the whole area is swarming with jellyfish. My kid was like, I don't want to go in there. And I'm like, nah, it'll be fun. We all ended up getting stung. Every single one of us got stung in there. And so for me, like, as I was building the sign for the bay, and I've got to redo some of it. One of the things I did is I bought these almost semi-translucent jellyfish stickers, and I put them over the plastic window, and then printed on like clear printing tape. It's like, you know, Jelly Bay or Jellyfish Bay, something like that. And then it's like Texas, and so I was like naming the city based on the jellyfish, just because of the what happened there, you know. I turned something backwards. I gotta fix this real quick. Let's see. But it was a lot of fun. Surfside, we enjoyed Surfside quite a bit, but I noticed it started getting at points when it started getting so busy and so hectic there that it didn't feel like a small beach community anymore. It still does, but the times when we were going during the year, it was like almost like uber swarming with tourists, and that was one of the reasons why we didn't want to. We'll go into Galveston to visit, but not to stay. We'd stay in Surfside. Hey, Diecast, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly. All right, so this is where we're at with this piece. It's a cool little piece. It's got in the 1980s and early 1990s. Not sure what that means. I'm not sure they quite understand what this thing is, but you know what? We're moving on, right? All right, so this is gonna turn around this way. Some of the build is a little odd, and I say that because there's like certain pieces that aren't reinforced enough, so you touch it and it kind of falls off, or they want like another piece put into it and you press it in and like one side breaks off. It's a little unnerving, but depending on, like I said, depending on how this builds, if this is something that builds really, really cool in the end and it feels like it's like a solid build, what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up maybe putting it on a shelf. But if not, if I'm like, it's probably not worth it, I'll end up putting it in the bin, and I'll use a lot of these parts because there's a lot of really cool metallic parts. Like I know, like after the holidays, a lot of this piece, I've got a couple of these, but a lot of these gold pieces here will end up being used in machines and stuff. And then I get like some of these botanicals, I rip those apart down the road and use them. So yeah, they're probably not going to stay around too long, but this might, depending on how it builds. Which some of it kind of kills me because look, we got these yellow pieces here that have like hazarding on them, which is really sick. So if this thing doesn't hold up and I rip it apart, there's some really good pieces to build from. Like really good pieces to build from. Alright, so some of you gotta sound out what you're working on. You got any new builds today that you've been working on? Okay, so this is going to go here. That goes here. And this goes like this, I believe. All right. So that's what we got on the body of this thing. It's pretty slick. Pretty slick. Alright. Let's see how that works out for us. Alright, that is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Here, I'm going to just turn that off. Keep it as is. Okay. So let's see. We're kind of moving on. We're going to go into the next part of this, which it looks like we're building onto this right here to build it out. There's some interesting build techniques in this for sure. And again, I love the color work, that kind of yellow, the blue, and some of the greens. It feels very macaw-esque, but it does it does read very much like a parrot in some ways. I guess on the size. I should look it up and see what is the difference between the two. Unfortunately, I was like, I'm gonna look it up on my phone. And I was like, I actually can't because I use my phone to live stream, so that becomes a very moot point for me. All right, so that goes under here. It looks like. I think that's supposed to go in. I think that's supposed to go in like that. So that seems kind of weird, but looks like it's supposed to go with the flat side out. That's cool because you got the bottom piece that's kind of tucking back up into the neck. Hey, Vault64, how are you? All right, so let's see. One of these. One of these. So it's going to go that way. And interestingly enough, with this build, the way that they're building things, there's some really kind of unique ways that they're playing with these blocks. It definitely makes it makes you, like, as you're building it, you're like, that's not the way it's supposed to do. So the macaw is a type of parrot. Okay. Okay. That's cool. Okay. So I know in Florida, because there's the green macaws in Florida, especially like South Florida, and that's what I saw all the time when I was in Coral Gables. But I kind of wonder if Texas actually has a native population of parrots or macaws. I've kind of wonder that, because if I do, I have a feeling it would probably be closer down to like Corpus area or further down. I'm trying to remember, like when we went to the botanical gardens in Corpus Christi, there was birds. They had a whole bunch of birds there, but I don't remember seeing anything about any of them being native to the area. So I'm gonna have to look that up when we get off. That'll be something I'm gonna look up and check out. Okay, it looks like we're building a claw. This is gonna be cool. I can't wait to show you this. So the macaw is a type of parrot, and I guess parrot is just kind of the generalized term for the type of bird. Okay, so check this out. So this is the leg, and then they got these silver pieces for the claw for it to sit on whatever it's going to be sitting on. And this, yeah, that's going to go back. This is going to go forward onto this. Oh man, it's already looking like a bird. Look at that. That is pretty wicked. I love. Here, I'm gonna bring it up on this. Check that out. Isn't that awesome? Okay, hey Mark, I might actually be keeping this as is. It's like one of those where I'm like, man, I'm not so sure now. I kind of want to keep this and celebrate this and put it up at least for a little bit. Thing, like it's kind of blowing me away now. I'm enjoying it. I'll go ahead and pull all the pieces for the other side. Let's see. I think we got that. All right, let's go ahead and nab this guy. This goes on top this way. This goes back this way. We've got another one of those little slope plates. There it is. And this is going to go back on this one. Then we've got this gold piece. And the way that they're layering the gold on top of the yellow, like it's a small accent, but it gives it a nice kind of bump in color and look, and it just makes it feel very unique. Like I said, I'm digging this one. I'm not much on like the one-to-one scale sort of builds like that, but I am actually quite enjoying this one quite a bit. Okay. And then here's the other foot. Thing is awesome. I love it. That is great. And, you know, again, I think someone mentioned yesterday the whole, maybe it was Matt. Can't remember, but someone was mentioning about the whole Archie thing from Clash of the Titans. And this feels very much like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 3, 3, and 3. That's 12. And one of these, it looks like we're making a tail now, which will be kind of cool. Hey, Stump. And then we've got 2 of these nice gold pieces. Woo! Gold. Yeah, I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the table. There we go. We got 1 and 2. And that's nice. Very, very nice. And then we got 2 of these clear. Now, there's like really cool, like clear blue studs. Hey, the witch. Witch doctor. They've got some really nice, like clear blue and then like translucent blue and even translucent orange. And I haven't done any translucent orange yet. I think that's all in the beak. But it is, there's some really, like again, for what we're paying for this being an off-brand, there's some really good solid parts in this, what it looks like. Hey, Paul, what's up? Okay, so that's going to go here. And then we're pulling, let's see, 1 of these, a couple of these arches, and 2 of these blue grill tiles. Now, as far as texture on this thing is chock full of really nice, like tile and plate texture in there. So it's got a lot of movement. It feels very machine-esque without it being too much. So put that one down. This one down. I have a feeling this is the absolute tail. So 1, 2, 3. Nice. So using that blue on the yellow, it really pops. Not as much as it would pop as if it was a, what's called a, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I was just teaching it today. A complementary color. So complementary colors are colors on the opposite side of the wheel, right? So in this case, it would be like if you had blue, so red, yellow, and blue are your primary colors, okay? So this has 2 primary colors in it. Now, if it were blue and you wanted its complementary color, what it would be is that you would go directly across the color wheel to the other side. So the opposite of blue would actually be orange. And the reason why is because orange has no association with blue at all. Orange is made of yellow and red. So there's no blue, there's no association. They will pop from one another, make them stand out. Yellow, its opposite is purple. Because on the opposite end, well, technically violet, but on the opposite end of the color wheel. And with that, that means that purple or violet's made of red and blue, which has no association with yellow whatsoever, so they stand apart from one another. Hey, Rima. And so with that, there's complementary colors. This would also look good with purple and yellow, or even maybe some orange on here. But I know with the yellow and blue, that's more of how the macaw is actually made, so that makes sense. But check out that tail. Look at that detail in there. And they've got this really unique, I've never seen this, but it's a really unique plate like that. I've never seen anything like that. It's pretty wild. Let me see if I can get the light on there a little bit better. There you go. But yeah, that is, so it does have movement in the tail. There is the movement in the feet. And you do have the, like, pistons on the back. Now we got to figure out how that's supposed to sit. Okay. So 93, we need 1, 2 of these bricks. Let's see. I'm checking just to make sure I didn't miss anything. How's everybody doing? I know we got a lot more people in. So let's check and see how you all are doing. Hopefully everybody had a good day. I know it's Tuesday, and sometimes some Tuesdays, at least based on what Martini and Rossi, the old commercials, was saying, was that Tuesdays were always such a horrible day. Apparently, I was gonna say my day was not horrible. It was loud, but it was not a horrible day. All right, so we got one of these, and then we got these Travis / not Travis bricks. They do not have studs on all sides. They're just gonna be like top, sides, and front, and it's weird. I love these, but they're like a 1x2 2 high with a 2x2 facings. That's a mouthful to say at one time. All right, so we're gonna put this on, and I have a feeling. I wonder if this is the head. This is gonna be cool if this is the head. Good start so far. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. These are gonna line up in here. They're definitely playing with gravity on this. So they've got all these set up like this, and they have it to where the peggable side's on the inside. So you've got surface area to put stuff all over this thing. Turn that. We got this goes on top, and then we need the bottom of a rocker plate. Here we go. That goes here. All right, now let me take a look because there's some interesting stuff here. Hey Frankie, what's up? So we got a slope, a 1x2. We got a yellow 2x2 with 2 stud up tile, a cheese wedge, which surprisingly enough, this cheese wedge is actually in yellow. And then we got 2 headlight bricks. Okay. And let's see, where are we going? Like I said, some of the build on this is interesting, what they're having us do. It's like we're building this up as is, but instead of using the bottom service, we're actually using the back slots to plug onto this plate. And then from there, we're flipping this over and putting a brick and a slope. And then I think this is going on there. So it's kind of interesting how they're doing it. Hey, Mitch, what's happening? I'm good, man. Had a pretty decent day. Yesterday I had off because I had overdid it with Toys for Tots, so I was not feeling it. But today, I had some rest yesterday. Took care of some things around the house. Got to do a little bit of build. Kids doing good, so I was like, you know what? Let's go home. Let's take care of the animals. And it's like, I'm gonna get to the build table and finish up this parrot, which I found out low budget bricks. If you're not following them, follow low budget bricks. You had a day of snow shoveling. Oh, that's right. There's a huge Arctic front that went through there, didn't it? Man, I bet your back is sore. Low budget was letting me know that a macaw is a type of parrot, but I need to look up and see if there are macaws or parrots in Texas, because I'm not sure. Now, we didn't have any snow in Texas. The kids really want it. Yeah, you're sore. All my students are like, is it gonna snow? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I know that we're due for a winter storm this year. I just don't know like if and when it's gonna be showing up. Usually ours that kind of fall like in the late end of like February, March, sometimes January. We had one year where we got slammed a lot. But I mean, it's Texas. It's not like up north. Like for us, slammed a lot. It's 5 inches, 5-6 inches of snow. We don't get as much of it here. So most of the time, we're just not prepared for it. Hey, Jor, how are you? So how many inches of snow did you get, Mitch? All right. So checking out this technique for this. This might be something I might go back and try to do another one of these for some mechanical builds. Let's see. We probably had 3 feet. Man, 36 inches. That beats her 30 inches more than our 6-inch tops. Yeah, you're kind of in a little bit more of a serious predicament in snow than we are. Which the next time that we have a snowpocalypse and it becomes a big ordeal, I'm gonna be like, hey, not as bad as in some areas. Mitch, they got 3 feet of it. And that's probably kind of on a norm, isn't it? You know, they say everything is bigger in Texas except for the snow. But I think what it is, the tails, the tall tails are way, 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 way much bigger in Texas. Despite what they're going to tell you, the tails are big here. All right. Oh, I kind of wonder if that might be a beak. That'd be cool if that is. You know what? I'm going to hold off. I'm just going to keep building. I'm going to see where they're going with this. Because if that's the case, that would be really, really cool. Now, we have one of these slope tiles that's got printing on it. Let me find it. Another one of those. One over here, it says parrot. Tuomo. I'll kind of set them over here so I can see what all I have. I'm going to find them all. It's like Pokemon, man. Haha, this is my last one. So I'm going back to, here. I'm going back to my macaw / parrot. So the bird that I started yesterday, I wanted to get this finished today. And I think at this point, I'm on the wings and the head. And then we'll put it on the stand. But this, I think it's the last bit of it. So, yeah. It's pretty, so far, it's been a, surprisingly, it was a cheap, you know, purchase, and it's been pretty decent. I was kind of surprised, very, very surprised. All right, so we got this. We got a cool engine piece over here. I'll go right there, and then 2 of the plates with claws. All right, so 1 and 2. And I did, yeah, I know. It is actually pretty cool. I did go ahead and look. And I think that's the top of the jaw. And I think it's supposed to, like, sit up here. So this is going to turn, I believe, and do some cool stuff. Oh, yeah, you know, I don't think I'm going to rip this one apart. I think I'm going to keep it as is and put it up somewhere. I really do like this one quite a bit. This has been a fun build. Okay. All right, so now we need 2 of these gold wings. We got these gold Icarus wings. And 2 of these green. And let's see, we're going this way. So 1, 2, and then these are going to go 1 and 2. Oh, that's going to be slick. That's going to be really nice. I like that quite a bit. That's going to be really cool. Here, turn it a little bit more that way for me. There you go. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Hey, Rama. All right. So with that being said, we got, I have a feeling we're going to use both of these yellows, but let's go with this here. This is supposed to go Howl. 1, 2, just like that. Okay. Got one on this side, and then we've got a gray plate. Then a blue. Oh, I see. I messed up. So blue on the end. Wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. I know I'm getting into this build, but I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. We're good. We're good. And nothing. Oh, hey. That's weird. I got stuff on my other thing that I completely missed over here. Let's see. Anyway, I really love your stream and joining me in part of your fan community. Would you mind adding my Discord? Man, I'll have to look at you. I can't read it right now, but yeah, let me look at it and see what you got. Okay, I'll check and see what you got, Will. All right, and I'm looking to see if there's, and then there's something about. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read them anymore. All right. Let's see. Are you? Oh, you're coming from Twitch. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it once I'm done with my feed. I'll check it out and see what you got. Probably what I'll do is once this uploads, I'll go back and I'll look at it because I'm looking at a screen right now that's like yay big and I can't zoom in on it. I've got 2 different screens going on. Well, technically 3. I've got 1, 2, and then 3. And so, you know, based on what platform I'm on, I'm all over the place. But yeah, let me get it, like, once I'm done, let me get on there and check and see what all you got. Okay, so we've got it. Oh, these are going the same way. Let me find the right one. I think it's this one. Okay, so we're building almost like cheek feathers up. And then yeah, so check that out. We're building almost like cheek feathers up at this point where they're coming out. And of course we got this, and we'll probably hide some of this. The eye will be in here. And then it's all going to sit on that peg, which will turn for the body, which will be nice. Okay, let's see. We finally got into our translucent orange. So we got some translucent orange. We got a 1x4 and then a 1x2. Turn this back the way it goes. This goes right behind here. This goes up on top. And this goes right in here. And there we go. So again, that just kind of touch of orange against the blue really makes it stand out. This thing is looking nice. Okay. We need this one and this cheese wedge here. So we'll turn it back. One of the things I do like about this set is it does actually gray out the previous stuff that was built. So it makes it a little bit easier to see what you're doing. Like it does definitely help out. This goes down. A lot of these are sitting one stud, but I think they'll lock into place once we get other plates and stuff around it, which will be nice. Okay. Let's see. All right, we have, at this point, Tuomo, a gray slope plate. Looks like one of these corner plates. And a 1x2. So we're going to put, we need the other Tuomo. Tuomo goes here. Gray goes right up here. This goes across. And this will go down like so. Yeah. So just, I mean, just looking at how flat that is, then looking how they're doing plates to build that up. That's pretty solid. It looks incredible. Okay. Looks like we're rounding off this head in a minute. All right, here we go. 1, 2, that's the same. We'll use the other one on the other side. Let's turn it this way. Boom. Boom. Oh, I see. We need to go one down. So instead, I think I went too far up. And the brick separator they gave us for this set is not very good. So, though I will say, so this was, where is it? I can't remember. No, they didn't give us a brick separator. This actually came with the, what was it? The pier set. But these, I wanted to actually find some more of these so I could break them up and use them as little supports. So I might look on eBay, see if people have these really cheap ones I can buy in bulk. Maybe if I can find some in black, and I'll use those because they do snap in really well, and you could use them with a plate and use them as supports for things. And then I got to make it over to a Lego store to do their pick-a-brick or brick wall. I have not done that yet, and it's something I should probably do. I should probably head over there at one point and get it. Lyndon, how are you? Okay. Put that in just like that. So they have the feathers going together. And we're not done yet. 1, 2. Go back over this way. And it goes up on that one, doesn't it? Let me take a look at this. Yep. Okay. So that's the side of the head. And with the beak and everything, that is pretty cool. Like, I'm loving this thing. Check that out. Rock, rock, rock. All right. Let's go. Now we're moving to the other side. And then I think after that, it's just wings and we're done. See, it's kind of, I was like, surely this thing is going to go a lot further, but it's 490 pieces. I think just yesterday, it just didn't, starting off, there's a lot to that body that takes so much. All right, and this is going to go all up front. One up. Up. Whoops. And then this one's going to go back. Yeah, I was going to see. I'm trying to decide at this point. I was like, I wonder if I could get this, like, on the TV console, like, what my wife would say. And maybe I'll just sneak it on up there one day. Leave it. Don't even look at it. Make no mention of it. Just kind of leave it there and see if she says anything, or if it's like, hey, babe, go put your toys away. Because I get that a lot. Like, hey, put your toys away. Yes, ma'am. That is a constant in my household. It's like, your stuff is starting to take over. Yes. It needs to go away. Yes, ma'am. And I don't blame her, because I mean, some of my stuff, it's like, if I'm not careful, I can keep adding to it, and I know that's got to be frustrating for her. Absolutely frustrating. All right, here we go. So now we're building that other side. Pretty slick. Very nice. All right. This time we've got these parts for the upper part of the head. It's like once you build it the first time, the second time, going on the other side and reversing everything, it's like nothing. Of course, we got the Tuomo. We've got this gray. And this piece right there. 1, 2, and then we should have one more. There it is. On this end. And then we'll almost be done with this head, which will be really, really cool. I like the look of this thing. All right, so we got one and one of these dots in there. It's gonna fit in on that side, and yeah, look at that. If that isn't like a robot parrot, I don't know what else to tell you, man. That's pretty robot parrot legit at this point. Hey, Alonso. All right, now, and then we get to put it on the body. Oh, such a nice snap. That feels, this is truly delightful. Look at that. Uh-oh, it's trying to fall off. Let me push it back in. All right, there we go. I don't want that to break off. I could imagine, though, if this thing were to drop, man, it's not as sturdy of a build. There's going to be pieces all over your house. Absolutely all over your house. But it is definitely fun. For Model S type builders, especially if you're into, like, robots and stuff, man, this is, like, this is the jam. This is pretty cool. This is prime real estate for building. All right, I'm gonna pull this stuff off, and now we're on wings. We're on the last part of it. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't even realize it's been like maybe an hour in. This is feels like nothing. But all right, let's count them out. So 1, 2. That's gonna go right on the end. Gonna hold in place there. We need another L plate and a 1x1. Goes here. We need 2 of these 1x1s. It looks like 1 and 2. Okay. And then let's see, one of these. We've got a printed piece, not the Da Vinci, but we should have one that says Parrot. Parrot's right here. And then, of course, one of these, and then a 1x1 plate, just right here. Okay, we're dropping that 1x1 plate on top. This is going to be going back this way. That's going to be going back this way. And then this looks like it turns and fits right into there. Slick. Very slick. Okay, let's see. Now, this is going to be on a ball joint, so these are going to actually move. It's not going to flap on its own like a robot, but it will be on a ball joint, so it will have some movement, which is nice. Okay. I'm going to come over here. That's going to go on the end. And then now we're building up some pieces. There's also a D5 tile. Man, I kind of want just their printed tiles on their own. It's like I kind of want to reach out and be like, I didn't get any of my printed tiles. Can you send me all the printed tiles? See if they'll send them. I seriously doubt they'll be like, no, just return it back to Amazon. Like, no, I don't want to. I say that it's like all I really want at this point. It's like I don't necessarily want to lose the fact that I'm enjoying this build, but I also want those printed tiles to make stuff with. Yeah, they got the D5. The parrot I don't care much about, like the D5, this 5 over here, the parrot, these like hazard ones, the plate that's got the parrot in there, like all those. I'd love to have all those. Maybe I could reach out and be like, hey, do you have these on print that I could just take? And if they say no, then I got to play dirty. Is that the way it goes? All right, here we go. Hold up. I skipped a step. So we need the yellow. We need the Da Vinci. We got the reverse of that, which should be this one. And that goes here. One of these. Da Vinci Parrot. And then it looks like a wing tip here. And then this goes in right here. All right. And that's going to be, yeah, no, that'd be really cool. All right. So a yellow. Another blue. A gold this time. One of these tiles. This is going to go down this way. We got, let's see, should be 2 down, right? Yep. And then this, and then 1 on the end. Now, I don't like, this feels a little loose. Like, I would like to have that a little bit more reinforced. And that feels just a little too loose. Maybe we'll plug something underneath. Yeah, we are plugging a piece underneath, so we got it. And then another one of these, another one of these, another gold, this time opposite, and one of these. Boom, boom, boom. So we're making these really cool yellow sort of wing plate pieces, which is pretty cool. Look at that. Got the Da Vinci Parrot, the D5, I'm not sure what that's all about. But that is looking super, super slick. Super slick. Okay. We got one of these, a 1x3, and then an inverted slope. Boom. Boom. I need to go to this one. What? I can't remember what that one is. No. It's Gunship. Okay. Yeah, I like that one. All right. So this is our wing. And it's weird. It looks a darker, but this is actually fairly bright. This is really like almost like primary or royal blue. It is very, very bright. It's just for some reason that seems so much darker up there. All right. We do need one of these and one of these. We're going to flip that over. And you will find me time after time. Be waiting time after time. All right, and this is gonna fit to there. So we got another kind of set of those metallic wings, which is looking great. Hey, Mike, how are you? I mean, that is a stellar look. That is incredible. All right. This attaches up here onto here. And so now we have our wing. So we could always like turn this. Now it doesn't fit back onto the bird. It'll just be like this, but it's still like it still looks really good. All right. And then I believe the last little bit of pieces is us building on the other side. Now, I don't know if we're going to have any of this left over. I think all of this goes into the build. And if so, then that means we don't have any leftover pieces, which is okay. June, how are you? All right, here we go. We're going to put this here. We're going to fit that down. And we we got one. This should have one more. Yep, plate right there. And this is going to go down. Boom. Boom. Just like that. There we go. And then we need our printed pieces. So we got the Da Vinci. We got the parrot. We'll go ahead and get it ready. We got our gold plate here. We have this one and our 1x1 plate. And I believe that's it on this one. Like we're about to finish. It's weird, again, thinking that this is almost done. And that wing holds up, actually. I mean, it's cool because they're individual, but they also seem to hold up, each and every one of them, now that it's got the reinforcement in the back. So this is going to go here, fit to there. We got one more of these gold gears. Another one of these. There's a part of it that's kind of hoping that it would have been, that we would have gotten like some of these, like these pieces left over that I could use for other builds. But, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. Like I said, it's like now at this point, I'm thinking about reaching out. Yeah, I'm missing these tiles just to see. Nah, that would be wrong. But maybe I could reach out and be like, hey, do you have any of these extra tiles? Because I would love to do some mocks with your tiles. See how that rolls. See if they're like, yeah, or if they're like, no, you can buy another set from us. And depending if the price is right, I might buy another one of these sets. These are pretty cool. Solid build. Okay. We want this parrot yellow and blue. It's like I'm calling out codes here. Tapered slope. Parrot. Parrot. Da Vinci. Da Vinci. All right. Yellow. Yellow. All right. We need one last 1x8. 1x3. This is going to go right here on the end. Did I get it right this time? I did. Man, surprisingly, I got it right. Last time I missed a whole step. This time I actually got it. Proud of myself. I don't want to take that pride too far, though, because I shouldn't be too proud of the fact that I got something right after I missed it the first time. All right, so here we go. This is going right here on the end. We got two out, so it goes here, here, and here. So we're building the other side. The cool thing of the metallic that they have on this is not too bad. Matthew, what's up? Oh, we got one more printed piece. Okay, let's see. One of these, a yellow, this, and one more printed. Uh-oh, I gotta move this over. All right, fine. Boom, there it goes. All right, so one more printed piece. This time it's printed on metallic. Pretty slick, look at that. Printed on metallic. All right. So we got one in, one down, one more. And this is going to fit right up to there. I like that they have this kind of asymmetrical. What's up, Tony? Tony, I finally put that parrot together. Man, not much. I got that parrot, right? The Steam Da Vinci parrot. Got it off of the A website, and finally putting it together. I'm almost done. Man, check this thing out. So it's got a turnable head. It's got a movable beak. It's got a ball rotating joint for an arm. It's got ball rotating joints for the feet and the legs. It's got a hinge tail. And then on the back, it's got this little play feature where you turn this. It's got little pistons that move. Yeah. We're on the last part. I am finishing up the other wing, and then we'll get on the stand and check it out. I was, initially I was trying to decide what I wanted to build, I was like, let me build this parrot. And I found out a parrot, so it says macaw, but then also says parrot on the plate. Yeah, I think I got it for, I picked mine up. It was on, a clearance thing for, 12. It's normally, I think, 20 or 25, which is not bad. It's 490 pieces. But I got mine. I can't even remember. Someone on the A site was selling it, and they were they're just kind of getting rid of it. I was like, yeah, I'll buy one. It was like one or two of them left, and I grabbed it. What I'll do is I'll get it in my link, probably in my bio at some point, so that way you can look. But it is a solid build. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Quite a bit. Okay. It's going to go here. Going to go here. And then we got our blue again. So we got, and it's got a lot of translucent blue. Hey, Ghost Gear, what's up, Eric? It's got a ton of translucent blue, ton of translucent orange, and then a lot of just gold and silver, almost chromed or almost sprayed. It's really, really nice. Really kind of bold gold and silver. It is, in my opinion, a cool build. All right, that's going to go over here. And then let me make sure. I got a couple pieces left. I have a feeling they're going to go. That's it. Man, we have 2 pieces left. Well, 3. We got these 2 yellow. Hey, Bearded Blue Collar, what's up, brother? We got these 2 yellow 1x2s. And one of these, blue slopes. And it's I'm kind of freaking out because I'm like, wait a second. Did I miss a slope somewhere? Did it break off? Or what am I doing, Because I feel like this should be somewhere on here. A lot of companies, they don't give you a lot of extra. So I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did I do? What did I do? This thing is, Alright, I'm going to do this, though. Look. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to put these 2 plates in here. Because not a lot of room. There we go. And then I'm going to try it again. Nice. Ha! Quack! What would you like? Quack! Quack! Hey, he wants to go to the restaurant. All right. Man, oh man. Look at that. All right. We're going to fit this bad boy on there. And then we're going to situate those feet so it can stand on the end of that. Oh, yeah. No, that's cool. Okay, so this is the final build, right? And, of course, it's got the moving beak. So it says Polly want a cracker. So it's got the moving beak here. You got the turnable head. I cheated. I don't think it's supposed to be there, but I put 2 extra plates in there to extend the head out a little bit. But there's all this nice gold and translucent blue. And then we've got up here the legs move. So there's ball jointing on the legs. There's ball jointing on the wings. So you can lift them up and play with them. And then on the very back, you've got, looks like a service hatch that keeps breaking out. There you go. If I can get it to actually turn. There we go. Nope. Nope. You know what? I didn't want it to work anyways. But right there, you've got some movable pistons in there, which is kind of nice for the what they call the battery, right? The one thing is that this part keeps wanting to break forward. It's like it's being held by these plates in here. And it's just, I don't know, it doesn't seem to have quite the grip that it should. I'm going to try it like that, and then I'm going to try this one, see if that fits in a little bit better. That might work a little bit better. I don't know. I might have to play with it just to see kind of where it's at. Overall, it holds up really well, but man, if you were to drop this, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're going to have pieces for miles because this is not one that holds up really well. If you were to drop it, that's in game for it. You know what I mean? I'm going to stick that kind of on the end, and maybe I'll reach out and be like, hey, you got another? No, it doesn't fit. Man, I didn't want that. I didn't want you on there anyways. You know what? Maybe if I put on the end over here. Still no. Okay, well, I'm done. But yeah, no, that's pretty solid. I dig this quite a bit. Quite a bit. Now, again, there are some key things, like this thing keeps breaking out. So I'm going to stick it back in there and kind of push that up. I wish there was something to reinforce that a little bit more. But all in all, like this feels pretty solid. The post in here seem pretty good. And I mean, I like coastal stuff as it is, but it's like coastal steampunk, man. I dig that thing. And the plate's cool. You know, I was deciding on if I wanted to keep it as is or if I wanted to like break it apart and use it for stuff. I'm still on the fence about it, but as of right now, I think I'd kind of like to keep it as is and display that bad boy out somewhere. I was thinking about putting it on the, hey Oscar, I was thinking about putting it on the TV stand, just sticking it up there with like the new router and just like leaving it and see if my wife says anything about it. It'll be my kid that'll say something. He'll be like, oh Dad, when'd you get the parrot? And my wife will be like, you bought a parrot? Like, man, you got me. You get me every time, woman. So yeah, that's the way it runs in my household, honestly. Like I tend to stay in trouble. But yeah, that's it. That is it for our production guide of Macaw. Interesting things, like I like the idea in the booklet. It has you can quickly find parts. It says quickly find parts of corresponding links, and it has this 1-to-1 scale, and there's no scale. There's nothing there to compare it to. So it's like, do I only get one of these, or what's up? A bricks by Kason. Then other than that, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I remember what it was. It was this right here. So it says, in the early 1980s and early 1990s. I have no idea what that means. Like, absolutely no idea. Were we building robot birds in the 80s and 90s? The thing is, I was alive during that part, you know, like I was born in late 70s. So I would probably be pretty aware if we were making robot macaws in the 80s and 90s. But it's like in the 80s and early 90s. Have absolutely no idea what that means. None whatsoever. It's the strangest thing I think I've ever heard. But yeah, it's a cool build. Overall, it is definitely an entertaining build. There's some highly questionable like build practices in here. They're they're a little odd, but it definitely works out. Like it's not like one of those where I'm like, whoa, you're like breaking every Lego rule here. I mean, it's not on that level, but it definitely is like it's interesting how they're putting certain things together. And it makes me think that maybe I'm not doing enough on my end with my mocks, because this has definitely opened my eyes to some new building techniques that I think would be pretty awesome, honestly. Let's see if that folds up any better. If that does. Yeah, these, I mean, these plates back here move. Let's see if I can move it up a little bit. That makes it easier to, yeah, kind of like that. Like I said, there's some cool stuff. Some cool stuff they did with rocker plates. Some cool stuff that they did with like the joints and everything. Even using some of the minifig wings and stuff for some of the parts. There's definitely some really cool stuff. There's like a piece here that they're using from a car for like the front of this. They've got using gears and then like the peggable claws that they're running through the gears and then like using pieces on top to accentuate it. So definitely some stuff in here that would be perfect for build for like the cyber city stuff. So definitely some cool stuff there. Yeah, I am digging it. I'm digging it. All right. Well, guess what? Hey Carlos, I think I'm done with this one. I think it's weird to say that I'm gonna get off early. I'm already done. I'm quite surprised, but I think that's it. I think I am gonna head out. I enjoyed building this. I enjoyed chatting with you all. You all, hey, be good. Some of you that are on the road, be good, be safe. I'll see you all when you all land at home and such. And yeah, thank you all for showing up. I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about that, okay? So good luck with the build and happy brick hunting. God bless you.